Tes 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 tes. Let's go, kita live reaction guys. Udah live belum sih? Udah kan ya? Sambil nunggu Barcelona versus Inter leg 2, kita main Magic Chess dulu. Tapi gue males nge-broadcastin ke ini deh. Males nge-broadcastin ke OBS anjir. Nunggu aja lah, bentar lagi juga mulai nih. 14 menit lagi. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Live reaction FC Barcelona versus Inter Milan, live decul guys. Oke, kita lihat dulu udah mulai atau belum ya. Harusnya udah sih. Oh ini udah nih. Sebelas menit lagi guys. Aduh, main Magic Chess dulu cuy. Siapakah yang akan menang? Gue berharap banget anjing. Minimal 1-0 lah cukup buat Barca cuy. Sepuluh menit lagi cuy, sabar ya. 9 menit lagi. Tujuh menit lagi boy. Di Giuseppe Meazza ya pede sih gue sih. Pede. Pede. Anjing kalah cok. Oh, kali ya tuh. Gini. Belum ya. 6 menit lagi cuy. Oh, tamus. Begini dong gue. Empat menit lagi boy. Udah mulai ya. Anjir.
And this the big one. The two players look so cool in the line. Mkhitaryan, one of them, crucially
Yang
fit into the
Sommer
top scorer.
main lagi. Bastonia, Acerbi bisa.
In the first leg with the left thigh strain. They're unchanged from last week's meeting.
Marco Mkhitaryan kawan Nogo saya.
Barcelona that kept them 3 points off Napoli at the top. They are well rested for this. They've never lost a European Cup semi-final home leg, but they have been knocked out at this stage 4 times in 5 ties in the last 4 by Spanish clubs. Barcelona in there change the lurid, vivid line. Inter Milan fans so expected. 1.5 million supporters have come through the gates here this season and all. He's a terrific referee, Marciniak. His 7th game in this season's competition. Polish assistants, Dutchmen in the VAR booth, and with Jules Koundé injured in the first leg and Alejandro Balde already sidelined, also with hamstring issues. Barcelona are suspect in the fullback positions. Eric Garcia came on last week and starts as their only change. Hansi Flick switch Inigo Martinez out to left back late on in that first leg. He resists that move, keeps Gerard Martin in there. Yamal, Rafinha and Torres have 65 goals between them this season. Lewandowski's waiting in the wings too, with his 40. He's recovered from the muscle strain that sidelined him for the last 4 games. They've won just 2 of the last 15 Champions League semi-final away legs, and in their last game away from home in this competition they were very flat against Borussia Dortmund, but had enough from the home leg to go through. They can ill afford that sort of performance tonight. Ready to go. There's the wonder kid. All eyes on Lamine Yamal. And the goal he scored in the first leg, and he might have got another super strike as well. Off we go. Inter in the blue and white, blue and black striped shirts, black shorts.
Okay, let's go. Udah mulai coy.
From right to left in this first half, and they immediately look for Alessandro Bastoni. Left-hand side of the back 3, and he's given it away quite high to Yamal. Early opportunity, and it fell to Ferran Torres. It's cleared away, and it's offside anyway, but we nearly had as dramatic a start as we did last week when Marcus Thuram scored in 30 seconds.
Yeah, mistake by Bastoni. Eric Garcia playing at right back, squeezed up, and what a pass it was from Yamal. It looks to me as though Ferran Torres could have hit that first time, but having taken the touch, had his strike block, but he was just offside.
They were brilliant early on. Inter last week. Thuram, you can see that in the middle of the picture. Dadlilia is here watching on from the stands again. And yet you always sense Barcelona are going to come back into it, and that is exactly what happened. It wasn't just the quality of the goals, and boy were they high quality. Well, wonderful performances last week. Pedri in midfield was astounding.
Well, he's a top-class player. Took time after his injury to get back to the top form we saw him in when he first came into the Barcelona side and the Spanish side, but this season he's been absolutely brilliant.
3-3 from the first leg. Inter have been victorious in 15 of their 21 UEFA ties in which they've recorded a first leg away draw. And statistics don't mean a lot when you've got a night like this. And Cherby thought it was a decision that should have gone Inter's way. And here is Frenkie de Jong, who, as we mentioned in the first leg, has made such a difference since he came back from that ankle injury back in October. They've had a terrific 2025 Barcelona. Since the midwinter break, they've won 24 of 30 games. Hasn't he done a great job?
He's done brilliantly for them. Changed everything. Previous manager, Xavi, moaned about having too many youngsters, didn't have enough money to spend. Things weren't going right higher up in the club. Hansi Flick has come in and said, these players are good enough. Some of these youngsters are brilliant. I'm going to play them. And he's played this very high offside line, and they pass it forward and they run forward, something they didn't do under Xavi.
There is Pedri. to Inigo Martinez, the old man in the side. But he's done so well to keep his place here, playing alongside Paul Kubasi, 15 years his junior, the man inside the penalty area there.
Well, he heard Hansi Flick talk before the game. He was asked the question, why didn't you play Araujo at centre-half and Martinez at left-back? He said, because the two centre-halves have got a great relationship and they've been excellent for him this season, so he just wanted to keep those two together.
Yamal skipped beyond two, in came the inevitable DiMarco challenge. It's a free kick, and coach of Inter Milan, Simone Inzaghi, was asked how are you going to stop this young man, and he says it's a collective issue. The whole team has to be responsible. He's going to get a few whacks like that.
Hansi Flick had something to say, so did Araujo from the sidelines. Marciniak has just gone across and had a word with him. Let me do the refereeing.
I don't think I've ever seen him lose control of a game. He had his flash points in that World Cup final in Qatar, especially leading up to the shootout. Thuram tracking back, 18 goals for him this season, 14 in the league, that's his best ever return. Barella's such a fine player. Only missed one Champions League game. Very little between them in the group stage. Inter finished fourth, Barcelona finished second, both of them on goal difference. Here comes a low cross into the penalty. It was a dangerous one as well. Rafinha nearly found his mark in there. De Jong felt he was fouled. Barella has given it away. And it was Garcia quite high up. He's continued his run. Yamal goes to bend it.
Well, almost a very good cross. Rafinha coming round the back. We saw that last week when that cross was played and Rafinha headed it back to Ferran Torres. Just can't get on the end of that one up against Bisek.
That was a wonderful team goal. Yamal, of course, scored a brilliant individual goal as well. Here's DiMarco. And this is where we see Eric Garcia under pressure straight away, and his hand was on the Inter player there. The referee's pulled it back, he's signalling he tried to let it go on.
Every chance he might have got a yellow card for this. The referee has just let him off on this occasion. Good run by DiMarco, such a threat down the left-hand side.
Garcia's 41st game of the season, but he's only played 3 hours of Champions League football, and right back is not his best position.
I think most of those appearances have been as a substitute, coming on late on in games, just to give other players a rest. Had a spell last season, or a year at Girona, where he got some of his confidence back, having had a terrible time at Barcelona the year before.
A year ago, at this stage of the La Liga season, Girona was second in the table. It was a remarkable tale. It was nearly a remarkable ball to Denzel Dumfries, as high up the pitch as he was for lengthy periods. Last week he's been out for with a hamstring injury for a month. He came back last week. He's played 109 minutes since that injury, but he wouldn't have believed that from his energetic display in the first leg. And when they took him off, he was none too happy. Scored his 2 goals, of course, and had a dynamic display.
And when he was taken off, he just created 1 or 2 chances, hadn't he? That was a surprise by Inzaghi.
Filippo Inzaghi.
Two managers, he's taken 463 games. Hansi Flick 489. He's managed his country, mind you. Both have managed great sides. Hansi Flick the more successful. But, Simone Inzaghi's won the league and the cup twice with Inter. Good player too. Well defence by Frankie de Jong. Interesting that Martinez is playing for Inter, because when he went on, he got injured just before the half-time whistle last week, looked distressed, didn't reappear after the break. You're thinking he's not going to play again perhaps this season, but here he is. less than a week later.
Well, that combination up front is so important to Inter. Lautaro Martinez and Thuram.
39 goals between the pair. Here's Yamal, effortless, fearless. Away by Dumfries, ricochets back, and in needing the clearance by Jan Bisek.
Let's go.
International.
Menit 8 guys.
Yamal awaits. In front of him is Mkhitaryan. Chanalolu anchoring the midfield. Barella to his right hand side. Chanalolu now closing. And Pedri just drifting on.
Yamal, nice Pedri. Kelas Pedri. Boleh.
Comes across from Gerard Martin. Away by Bastoni initially and clouted away by DiMarco. Lautaro Martinez looks for the raiding Dumfries. Goes beyond Gerard Martin, who's in trouble straight away against him, pulling back on him.
Awas.
And Dumfries was just too strong for him, has options here. And
Nice.
in the end dawdled and lost the opportunity.
Well, I think we've just seen where the threat is for Inter. Yes, we can talk about their front two, but Dumfries up against Gerard Martin. I think that's where Inter can get some success. They did last week. Just couldn't find the final pass, could he?
Ferran Torres came off the craggy veteran defender Francesco Acerbi. 6th start in the Champions League in a row. Only featured twice in the group games.
That was a slight worry, wasn't it? Because Acerbi was favourite to win that ball, and Ferran Torres just ran away from him. Acerbi got himself back in a decent position, but in terms of pace, there's only going to be one winner there.
Barella's lost out, but in nicked Dumfries, who wanted it more, I think.
Santai. Build up, man. Build up.
Rafinha, 20 Champions League goal involvements this season, the club record.
Kebar si kiri, nice.
14 goals needed
Apa itu guys?
to level Lionel Messi's club record. He has 12.
Anjing. Tebel banget anjing pertahanannya.
Cacophonous din.
Ayo dong. Nice. Aduh,
It's
lu
a risky ball,
berdebu
very,
itu.
very risky. Martinez, it was nearly cut out by Mkhitaryan.
Ini Lewandowski main gak sih? Enggak.
Yamal. Here's Çalhanoğlu, running into trouble again to Yamal.
Elian Yamal.
He's ahead of Lionel Messi at this stage of his season in terms of stats. His 100th game for the club came last week in the first leg, scored and hit the post as well. And a lot of people are saying he's the world's best 17-year-old ever. Pelé wasn't bad, and I was lucky enough to see Maradona at that age, and I would still put Maradona a little bit ahead of him because Maradona had more physicality.
Here's the skill that he does possess, knows exactly where the space is, good strength. He didn't quite find the right pass at the end of it, but his end product for most of the season has been absolutely superb. And there's his mentor, Araujo. Always see them together.
Number one fan, isn't he? Araujo. But they are chancy at the back sometimes, Barcelona, especially with that high line. Tied up by Bastoni. And here's Sommer, who has 7 clean sheets this season in 12 Champions League matches. No one can compare to that. Rafinha. Barcelona having more of the ball. 61% of it in the opening 12 minutes. Not a great surprise, I guess. Garcia. Yamal. Kubasi with the touch. Another extravagant young talent coming through at 18. He was at the Girona Academy before he joined Barca.
Anjing gak rebut.
Lautaro Martinez.
Mundur.
That's offside surely against Thuram. Well, the flag has stayed down. Thuram.
Wih,
Good stop by Chesney.
offside
and then the
anjing,
flag goes
gila lu.
up. Well, he looked yards offside.
Gila lu.
There's the front two trying to combine. Martinez maybe just took a little too long to get
Offside
his pass
jauh
away, but
anjing,
that's the way you
ngapain
can
itu
break
harusnya diberhentiin cuy.
Barcelona down. That high line again. He just needed to see the pass a fraction earlier, Lautaro Martinez. First warning really for Barcelona.
Thuram's 350th career game at club level. 95 goals in that time. Here's Pedri, who has this ability to glide on the ball and looks for a pass whenever he has it.
Ayo dong Pedri, ayo create chance cuy.
Just look at the inter shape. The players that are
Harus ada
always
yang
spare
create
for the
chances,
opposition
man.
can get easy possession of the two fullbacks.
Kalau nggak ada yang
I
create
don't
chances
think that's going to
gimana cuy?
worry
Ini
Inter
main
because the
pasif
two
banget dari
fullbacks,
tadi.
in my view, are probably Barcelona's weakest players on the ball. Eric Garcia and Gerard Martin.
The side has lost its way this season. 3 defeats in 5. They're off the top of Serie A. They went out of the Italian Cup, beaten by neighbours.
Nah, ini nggak sesuruh yang leg 1 ya, leg 1 kayaknya.
First leg had finished 1-1.
Babak pertama udah 3 gol anjing. Nah itu dia, good.
And Torres tried to find Olmo.
Bastoni ini apa ya anjing?
Tied it up by Çalhanoğlu.
Apa coba Bastoni coba?
Eric Garcia back to Olmo.
Offside lah.
Well, clearance away initially it was by Cherby. And here's Pedri. Yamal steps back onto the left.
Yamal.
He had an opportunity to play to Eric Garcia, but he's brimful of confidence.
Yeah, he just gets away from Mkhitaryan, who at the moment is the first player to go and close him down. Dimarco then backs him up. But Mkhitaryan's got a big job on his hands here. Good, great turn from Mkhitaryan.
Lautaro Martinez, that's a fine ball to Dimarco, but Chesney saw it coming. And it's cleared away by the former Arsenal and Juventus goalkeeper. He retired in August, got the opportunity to resurrect his career at Barcelona, and what an opportunity it is. Barella making the move now for Inter. He can stretch this Barcelona defence. Mkhitaryan. Oh, it's a good ball into Thuram. And the flag stayed down. You know, I don't know whether he's just signalled there for us. I don't think he has.
No, I don't think he has. He was onside, as you can see. Martinez tried to step up, but was a fraction late. And he didn't really make the most of it. It's a poor effort in the end from Thuram. Space was down the side of Kvasi rather than chopping it back onto his right foot. That's why he's frustrated.
4 Champions League goals for him this season. He's one of the players rested at the weekend. And there's that high line. Kvasi heads it away. Dimarco following up, wants to release to Lautaro Martinez, and it's a good job for Barcelona that Kvasi got his foot in the way.
Ah, kayak mentalnya jangan down dong anjing. Oh Balde juga nggak main ya?
0-0.
Lewandowski, tumbuh banget depannya anjing.
Chopped across by Mkhitaryan. And then
Apa anjir Gerard Martin?
Fairly hastened ball. Really think about it. Dimarco. Now Bastoni.
Bastoni anjing jago banget.
Commanding run from the back for him. Looks for Mkhitaryan. Lautaro Martinez is in the middle. And a brilliant clearance away.
Nice.
For Barcelona by Inigo Martinez.
But really good play. Look how they just play around Yamal to start with. Eric Garcia is high up the field because he's closed down Dimarco. Now he can't be seen. And the pass isn't quite good enough. Excellent defending. Got himself back into a great position.
Nice Inigo
Martinez. Mkhitaryan, could he have just bent it a little bit closer to the 6-yard box? Maybe so.
And the 33-year-old heavily tattooed defender pumped his fists as if he'd scored the winning goal. He knew how important that clearance was. Çalhanoğlu with the corner kick. First of the game. And it back out wide.
Anjing, bahaya banget ini Inter.
Well, they didn't defend set
Apa
plays
ya, ini
particularly
Inter
well
nih,
last
guys.
week, did they, Barcelona?
Bahaya banget bangke.
A couple of goals.
Hansi Flick was asked about that beforehand, wasn't he? About the dangerous set pieces. He didn't seem that concerned. Estonia will take this long. Aim towards Thuram, aim towards Bisek.
Anjir.
And he's won the corner kick.
Well, had he got a touch, Barcelona would have been in trouble here. He actually should have got a touch. Somebody should be in front of him, stopping him getting an easy path to the ball.
Di Marco, normally you would say the first goal in this tie would be crucial, but such a myriad of riches out there.
Nice.
It's another corner kick.
Anjing, kena corner
Shot from
lagi,
Çalhanoğlu
bangke.
was deflected. It's a flurry of 3 corners for his
Ayo
side.
dong, bola atas nih anjing. Ini kelemahannya Barca itu selalu kalah di bola mati anjing. Jangan gitulah. Dom. Ayo cover, screen.
It's an aging side against the young tyros of Barcelona. Toro trying to lose his marker in the middle. Garcia got a touch. Here's Di Marco, who started the game strongly in an offensive way. Runs at Yamal. He won it back.
Nice, Yamal.
Away.
Good.
Well, Pedri, the first touch was superb, but he's wasted it. It's a poor ball. Blaming Rafinha, but should have looked. Thuram with a little back heel. Looking for Bisek, who was up there.
Nice, Inigo Martinez.
Look who it is who comes across to get it away, Inigo Martinez.
I have to say at the moment, Inter are finding it quite easy to get from one end of the field to the other. It's a bit, particularly down this left-hand side with Di Marco and Bastoni.
Winners in 64 and 65 in 2010.
Dekat lah itu Dumfries tuh. Anjir. Mundur anjing. Apa sih? Mau diving monyet.
Referee says no.
Enggak, lanjut.
Çalhanoğlu out wide. Here's Barella. Stung
bahaya,
the fingers. After which
Counter.
at the second attempt.
Well, they've done their homework. They're finding runs to get in behind this Barcelona line. Great strike as well on the half volley from Barella. This has got the crowd going, hasn't it?
Oh, nice.
Two former European champions, and here's an opportunity. Dumfries is in there. Lautaro Martinez. 20 minutes gone. Checks the flag. It stayed down into 1 Barcelona 0. Pass fit to play. So very crucial to them. And he puts Inter ahead.
Well, at
Gone.
the moment, they're being cut open too
1-0
easily.
anjing.
They win the ball
Ngapain
back.
sih? Salah oper kan anjing, satu
Just
salah.
here. Great closing down from Di Marco, then just plays the next ball in behind Barcelona. They're out of shape. Dumfries picks the right pass, and it's a easy finish for Lautaro Martinez. No chance for Szczesny. What a big moment for Inter here.
9 of his 22 goals this season have come in this competition. They're unbeaten in 15 Champions League home games, a club record going back to September 2022. And all of a sudden, a tricky night becomes a very awkward one for Barcelona. Never lost a Champions League European Cup semi-final game at home.
Well, all season we've been talking about Barcelona. Will somebody find a way of breaking down this high offside line? Well, they have a
Orang bingung nih Eric Garcia mainnya nih
At the
anjing.
moment, Inter look as though they know how to break it down. We're in a bit of trouble here, Barcelona.
Have to be honest and admit that I fancied Barcelona for this tie all the way up to the eve of the first leg when I looked at the ages of the Inter players and thought, can Barcelona's runners, the young players, rip them to shreds? But at the back they've been suspect in both games, and here's De Jong now. Rafinha. Gerard Martin.
Let's not forget, Barcelona have been down in a lot of games this season and still come back, even when they've been 2-0 down, come back and won games with ease.
Nice, Yamal.
Capable of mostly everything. But unhappy there.
Handball cuy. Wah,
Probably was a foul by Di Marco there. He had another little go here.
Tuh dari
The referee
belakang
was trying to play
anjing.
advantage.
4 orang
Didn't
5
quite work
orang
out in the end
anjing.
for them.
2 down against Atleti in the Copa del Rey semi-final first leg and came back, drew 4-4. They were behind against Celta Vigo only recently. Won that game 4-3, I think it was. Kubasi heads away now.
Bisa.
Only last week they came back from a worse position than this.
Balik nggak sih?
Martinez.
Mundur.
Here's Pedri. Rafinha coming into the middle. Dani Olmo, seen very little of him. Yamal. Garcia is backing him up, whips the cross in, headed away by Bisek. Pedri thought about a shot. Garcia won't want to shoot. Looks
Nice.
for Pedri, clever ball. Cuts it back into the middle. There was Olmo. Pedri saying, have a check here.
Handball.
Good play from Pedri. This is where they wanted the handball. Not sure it was. Oh, it's a big chance in the end for Dani Olmo when it came down to him. Yes, he's on the ground, but just couldn't get it goalwards.
Everything that could be a penalty is always checked by VAR, and they're in the ear now of the referee, Simon Marciniak.
Yeah, it was a Cherby, I think. Might hit him on the top of the arm, but no. I think that's the right decision.
When he looks at a player, the player knows, I think, not to argue with him. He's just got that aura about him, this Polish referee. Not officiated either of these two teams yet.
Udah nggak bisa main build up nih anjir Inter.
Been here for Milan against Feyenoord, and he sent off one per side. Rafinha tried to dig it infield.
He's not been able to affect the game so far, Rafinha. Most of his good work this season has been running in behind the opposition. Hasn't been able to do that just yet.
Kubasi won it. Thuram's done brilliantly here, but Kubasi just dropped off the yard. De Jong for Barcelona, trailing as they did in the first leg, in to lead it 4-3 on aggregate. Pedri, the metronome of the first leg, controlled its tempo. Yamal, 2 on him. Difficult for Olmo to do anything with that ball, tied it up by Mkhitaryan, and then given away. That could be costly by Di Marco. Has it now though. Boomed up towards Thuram, Barrera, they've got runners here. Dumfries has a look, plays to Martinez, back goes De Jong, he'll have to chase after it again.
It was the wrong angle on the pass, wasn't it? He had to play that in behind. Here we go.
Nice.
Here's Olmo. He's got Ferran Torres on his left-hand side. Olmo.
Ngapain Olmo anjing?
Torres looks exasperated.
And it was the recovery in Çalhanoğlu that just put him off to start with. It might have just come off the heel of Acerbi, but he didn't look overly confident there, did he, Dani Olmo, as he ran forward.
Didn't have a great first leg, did he?
No, he was upset about being taken off as well, wasn't he? It's been a fairly inconsistent season for Dani Olmo. On certain occasions he's played brilliantly, so clever in and around the box. Other games, like the first 28 minutes here, doesn't do a lot.
Here comes the corner kick, headed away well by Henrik Mkhitaryan, who did have a good first leg. He has his veterans in the side. Mkhitaryan 36, Çalhanoğlu 31, Acerbi 36, Sommer 36. He's Pedri, one of these great young Barcelona talents at 22. Angel Garcia to make the run inside. De Jong. Opportunities to play left-hand side. Miguel Martinez wants it. Gerard Martinez further across. Rafinha's in at centre forward at the moment. Pedri shooting opportunity.
One of his better ones, Pedri, but they worked it well. He found that bit of space. Went one side, came back into the centre. See, Çalhanoğlu was out of position, and he just got underneath it. Pedri.
See the players sweating up. It is a humid evening in northern Italy. Humidity up around about the 80% mark. Temperatures at kick-off 16 degrees Celsius. Pedri, Ferran Torres, Bisek took it off him. Oh, and he crashed to the ground, he slid to the ground. Look at the backspin on that.
I think he kicked it from one leg onto the other.
Here's Rafinha though for Barcelona, in towards Torres. And an important touch on it by Bastoni.
Oh, that's Barella that gives the ball away. Now, does Ferran Torres miss it? No, it's good defending. And he's beyond that near post. It was always going to be difficult to get it on target, and he got a flick on it.
Sean Inches, they defend this 1-0 lead on the night, 4-3 on aggregate. Goalkeeper comes, punches it away, could have caught it, chest height. Goalkeepers don't anymore.
That's an easy take, I would say. He would claim that he's cleared the danger. He's got it 10 yards from the halfway line with his punch.
And as they have fallen away this season on 3 fronts, which is their lead in this semi-final, they've only kept 1 clean sheet in 11 games, most unlike Inter. Kubasi threaded the eye of a needle. Pedri again allowed to run. Not the best of passes that though to Dani Olmo. He's won it back though. Martin with the cross looking for Ferran Torres, again punched away by Sommer. Pedri having so much of the ball and they're letting him have it. Here's Rafinha. Comes back to Pedri, opportunity to get wide left. Here's Rafinha. De Jong. Sort of on a spin pass, Gerard Martin.
Gerard Martin,
They don't want to give the ball out wide to Martin.
And his crossing over the course of the season hasn't been particularly good. It's actually worse when he's got more time to cross it. Think about it.
Into lead against the top scorers in this season's Champions League. 40 goals they've scored in this competition of the 160 they've netted all campaign. And 29th in this competition, a joint competition record with Real Madrid. And Inter no mugs either, an 18th Champions League campaign.
Well, it's finely balanced, isn't it? Every time Inter go forward, you think they might have a chance of getting in behind Barcelona when Barcelona have it. They've got so much ability. They need more from Ferran Torres and they need more from Dani Olmo at the moment. Ferran Torres, when the ball has come into him, he's lost possession too many times.
Mkhitaryan. Bastoni again stepping forward and on the charge here. Inigo Martinez steps across, playing the right-hand side of
Bastoni ketinggalan
the
tuh.
defence there
Bastoni
momentarily.
ketinggalan.
Here's Dani Olmo.
Lepas dari posisi.
Legs were taken by Di Marco.
Well, the players, Barcelona players, are suggesting that Di Marco has made 3 or 4 fouls now and should get a yellow card.
Nice. Drive boleh Yamal.
Skips beyond Di Marco. There's the cover again.
Nice banget Eric Garcia.
The crossing from Garcia. Ferran Torres was there. And that's an opportunity and a really big one.
I think Eric Garcia is saying, why didn't you head it to Rafinha? It was a really good ball played in. I think Ferran Torres saying there's a bit of holding going on in the box. And that was a good ball played by Eric Garcia.
Gol tuh anjing.
I wonder if Rafinha thought he'd run offside. That's why he didn't make an effort to go for it.
Met on the way to Inter's 2010 success in this competition. In the group stage, when it was a 0-0 draw here and Barca won in Spain, and then in the semi-final we're into one.
Tapi dari Yamal mulu sih. Cuma gimana?
Piqué scored in the second leg, but Inter held on, reached the final, beat Bayern, who's their third crown.
Wasn't that where the term "park the bus" was invented?
Yeah. Kubasi. They held on and they held on and they held on, didn't they? Martin, inaccurate again with the pass. Bisek. Big turning circle there for him. Only missed one Champions League game the man brought into the club a couple of years ago, this coming summer, from Aarhus. Big step up for him.
Kacau anjing.
Sometimes you look at his positional sense and think, I wonder. Up towards Lautaro Martinez. Giving it away. Oh, Pedri, lovely drop of the shoulder. Dani Olmo. Yamal's to his right-hand side.
Lamin Yamal. Dioper lagi anjing.
Goals. He got to pass it to Ferran Torres. It's gone wide.
Well, they won the ball back here. See how many players are around the ball. That's what they do well, Barcelona. Pedri again links up the play. Olmo is waiting to get the pass right. And he just gets it on his right foot. Just rushes his shot. Toe pokes it in the end.
Olmo was definitely fouled in the build-up. Martinez got back and fouled him.
I think the referee thought about giving a free kick. Maybe has done.
Yeah, I think he's pulled it back.
No.
There's a goal kick, is it?
He's still looking at the referee saying, I want a foul for that. But again, the referee tried to play advantage, and if Yamal scores, it would have been brilliant advantage. But he did get a yellow card, Çalhanoğlu, for that challenge.
To have a slender advantage. Can't get yellow cards, suspensions at this stage. Only be suspended for the final if you're red carded. Thuram battling. Barella follows it up. Here's Denzel Dumfries looking for Martinez. The shot from Barella, blocked by Inigo Martinez.
Martinez has got his head in his hands because he knows a better
jago
pass or a
banget,
better
anjing.
cross from Dumfries. He was in again.
Still Barcelona with 62% of the ball, still at times Inter exposing the Catalan defence. Bisek challenges for it. Hit well.
Anjing nyaris.
But hit wide. It's Mkhitaryan with the
Masa
strike.
2-0, Cok.
Oh, what a volley this is. It's right through the back of it. Always just going wide of the far post. Had it been in the corner, Szczesny wouldn't have got anywhere near it. He's late to see it.
He got the one goal this season, came against Juventus back in October. Been a regular in this Champions League campaign. Giving that away high. Rafinha's touch here now. Gerard Martina, too many bodies around him. Barella working hard, they love him here.
Playing to the floor under Antonio Conte when he was the manager of Inter. Did a really good job in his second season winning the title. It was during the COVID years with no crowd inside the stadium.
Champions League runner-up, Barella won the European Championship with Italy, of course. Had a major role in that summer. Still does for his country. Played recently in their couple of games against Germany. And here's Eric Garcia. Kubasi. De Jong, nice touch. Pedri having a look. Strokes the pass to Yamal. DiMarco, Mkhitaryan doubling up. Could drift between the two of them. That's what he's trying to do, that's what he's done, and then he slipped on the ball. Bastoni made the challenge, and the way he slipped could be costly because I think he's rolled his ankle. Here's Garcia. No, he's okay. Yamal. Barcelona sigh a huge sigh of relief up in the stands. Here's Rafinha. Pedri. Ferran Torres needed to stick with him, it didn't. And Thuram brings it away. And here's the punishing speed and power of Denzel Dumfries. Lautaro Martinez is in the middle. Well, that's a bit of imagination there, playing the percentages maybe. Anyway, it's gone off Martinez.
Yeah, I think the ball needed to be straighter inside the defender. Just pushed him that little bit wider, but again, great skill from Yamal to go in between, as you mentioned. Could go in between the two players, which he did, but then Bastoni does well, slides in, makes himself big. Certainly no foul there.
Dumfries will take the throw. The big Rotterdam-born Dutch international. Looking for Thuram. Stabbed away. What an opportunity that is for Çalhanoğlu.
And it comes on his weaker, still a very good two-footed player, but it comes on his weaker left foot. What a chance. Ferran Torres went to sleep on the edge of the box. Çalhanoğlu just walked off the back of him. Completely miskicks it. Big, big chance.
There's 10 goals this season, 6 of them from the penalty spot. Scored the goal that beat Arsenal here earlier on in the competition in the group stage. Just 3 wins in their last 11 games, lead Barcelona. They've won 24 of their last 30. Martin's touch was awful. It breaks here then for Mkhitaryan, sets Lautaro Martinez away. Brilliant challenge by Pau Kubasi.
Well, he had to get that absolutely right. If he's going to go to ground, he's got to get the ball. Inzaghi's claiming it's a foul. It should be a penalty. But it looked to be a really good tackle to me, as it did to you, I think.
It is being checked, but then that's routine. Here's Rafinha, boos from the Inter fans, because Lautaro stayed down for a while. So too, by the way, did Pau Kubasi. The referee stopped it now because of the injury to the Inter captain and goal scorer.
The only question mark is, does he go through Lautaro Martinez to get to the ball?
Enggak lah, anjir. Barsi tuh, Barsi.
This is a better one. Nice. No, I think he wins the ball.
Bola lah, anjir.
Wonderful challenge. And he had to get that, as I said, absolutely right. Just been told to calm down, Inzaghi, which he's doing.
The fourth official it was who told him to calm down, Pavel Rakovsky. It's a great tackle.
It is a great tackle.
Bola, udah fix banget bola.
Oh, although the person that touches the ball is Martinez.
Anjing,
That's
pakai
what
mati
goes up
cok.
at that angle, but it's still touch and go.
Clear and obvious. Is he being told to go to the screen? If he does, yes, he'll give a penalty here. And for that last angle, looks as if Inter had a really good case. And what looked like a brilliant challenge.
It was because the ball went off at an angle, you assumed Kavasi had got the touch, but it looks as though it's Martinez just there, his boot that touches the ball, though he's slipping over. Again, it's very difficult. It's such a tight one.
You give a penalty here. Spot kick for Inter, 90 seconds before the end of the first half. And this could be so decisive. Hansi Flick is absolutely incandescent, and now it's up to Wojciech Szczesny, who's faced 90 penalties in his career and saved 20. That's not a bad return for a goalkeeper. Well, they'll say, of course, he was the last offender, but was an honest attempt at a challenge. So there's no double jeopardy.
He's explaining, the referee, to the Barcelona players that it was Martinez that actually got a touch on the ball, and Kavasi caught Martinez. I mean, it's so tight at first, and a lot of the replays, to me, it looked like a great tackle, but when you saw that last one from the other side, he does catch him.
Çalhanoğlu scored 6 penalties this season. This will be a huge step for Inter towards the final. Closing seconds of the first half. He's normally so steady from this distance. And Chervy's encroaching at the moment. Çalhanoğlu scores. Have Inter got one foot in the final in Munich? On the night it's 2-0 and they lead 5-3 on aggregate. They've been in this position before, they squandered it last week. Surely they can't do the same again this week. Inter 2, Barca 0.
Well, the penalty was never in doubt, was it? Çalhanoğlu sends Szczesny the wrong way. Good power. What a big moment just before half-time. Oh, there's still a lot of arguing going on. The referee's going to have to calm everybody down here. Barcelona players are not upset now. Dumfries and Acerbi. Well, Dumfries is trying to get Acerbi away. He was having a row, I think, with Inigo Martinez. But this is a good penalty. Sends him the wrong way, in the corner. 2-0 Inter.
Super technique. And they are celebrating in Milan at this moment. Not all of them could watch. Chairman Giuseppe Marotta up in the stands. Took over in June of last year after the acquisition of the club by Oak Tree Capital Management. The demise of Suning, that controversial period.
Everybody's just got to calm themselves down here. It's no good Barcelona being upset. They've got to focus. They've got to somehow get themselves back into the game.
Now he's being told here what happened off the ball after the Çalhanoğlu penalty.
Inigo Martinez was certainly the player involved, along with Acerbi.
You saw Pedri saying to the referee, "Come on." Can they produce another wonderful comeback? Missing the fullbacks, so costly for them. Out there by Acerbi. One back by Frenkie de Jong. Here's Rafinha, who's been very quiet. He didn't keep the ball in play.
Now Barcelona can't start to think that everything's going against them and the referee's against them. They've got to get their focus back here. Hansi Flick's got a big half-time team talk to give because, as we mentioned earlier, they have come back many times this season from losing positions to go and win the game. They can still do it today.
Nearly 3 minutes of stoppage time played. Out by Kubasi, who will have felt he made a perfect challenge, but he didn't. And VAR told the referee to give the penalty, and he did. And it'll be
This
interesting to see
match
what happens.
was brought to you by Lanes, UEFA Champion. League official
20
sponsor.
minutes. The penalty by Chananoli on the stroke of half-time perhaps has given them 1 foot in the final. Perhaps, Stuart.
Perhaps, but everybody's got to calm themselves down. It's been a great first half again, but Inter find themselves in front. Can they hang on? And can Barcelona turn things around here? It's going to be difficult for them.
2-0 to Inter on the night, 5-3 on aggregate.
Here we go.
Belajar memaknai setiap perjalanan dan temukan rasa super yang baru. Ini kreteknya super. Jarum super espresso gold.
Kamu punya kondom nggak?
Harus ya?
Harus.
Apa anjing iklan kondom bangsat. Bangke. Tai. Kenapa ya kalah mulu ya anjing? Ada aja. Ada aja tuh anjing begitu-gitu tuh babi. 2-0 gimana nih bang? Kalau udah begini mah sulit kita bang, dukungnya bang anjing. Ya apa coba. Gerard Martin harus diganti nih guys. Nggak gawe bangke. Kita main Magic Chess aja dulu dah anjing. No main Magic Chess gua. Stres anjing. Stres jir. Gimana sih? Jadi kayak gini bangke. Harusnya ke bawah gini boy. Gini boy. Kok gue menang goblok. Anjir. Gimana ceritanya ya bisa 2-0 Barca nyet. Gimana ceritanya ya anjing. Break. Lagi halftime cuy. Coba kita refresh guys. Apakah sudah mulai? Belum. Aman. Mulai cuy.
Official sponsor.
Welcome back to San Siro, where the referee Simon Marciniak's late decision to give the penalty, having consulted VAR, gives Inter this 2-0 lead on the night and a real advantage. Lautaro Martinez having scored the first. How can Barcelona come back into this semi-final second leg, Stuart?
Well, they've got to make sure they've got their concentration to start with. They lost their focus right at the end of the game, moaning about the decision, having an argument with one or two of the Inter players. But they've got to play on the front foot. They've got to get their midfield players, Pedri on the ball, and Rafinha's got to do more. And at some point, I'm sure we'll see Lewandowski and Fermin Lopez come on. Fernan Torres and Dani Olmo haven't affected the game enough.
One effort on target for Barcelona in the game, Yamal, and it was a comfortable save for Jan Sommer in the Inter goal. The home side with the advantage, and that long unbeaten run in this competition at home, going back to 2022. Top referee. Off we go then. Barcelona kicking from right to left in this second half. Yamal, can his influence grow? Pedri's seen a lot of the ball. Here's Rafinha. In the first half, Barcelona successfully passed the ball over 200 times, in comparison to Inter's 82 completed passes. Eric Garcia, Pedri, Yamal taken off his toes, nearly got to the return ball by Olmo. Just seems a lack of communication at times amongst the Barcelona players. Team news, all important of course, with Barcelona having lost their left back Balde a couple of weeks ago, having lost Koundé, injured in the first leg here. In comparison, Inter passing Lautaro Martinez fit.
And it's not just defensively where they miss out with Balde and Koundé. They're so much better in attacking areas than Garcia and Martin.
Here is Martin with the cross, eased away in the middle by Francesco Acerbi. Not missed much in the middle, the veteran defender. Inigo Martinez, Garcia, quicker out to Yamal. Back to Garcia, gets the ball out to Yamal. Bastoni's in front of it. Opportunity to glide beyond the centre-back, he's done really well. But the cross was behind Rafinha. Gerard Martin. And Di Marco, safety first and allowed to get to the second ball as well. That's a free kick. And Barcelona starting the second half with protests towards the referee. This is Frenkie de Jong.
Well, Frenkie de Jong said he couldn't get out of the way. Lautaro Martinez, he might have a point. But it looked to be a strong challenge by Eric Garcia to start with.
Sommer finds Bisek. On to Barella. But Martin was there. Now Pedri. Ball surely is there to be played inside. Comes in now. That sort of sums up Dani Olmo's day, really. Barella has it back again. Kubasi with the head forward to De Jong. They were 2-0 down in the first leg, Barcelona, but they've given that away high. And here's Marcus Thuram. Runners either side of him. Mkhitaryan's to the left. Played in behind Lautaro Martinez. And the return ball was disdainful.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan was never going to get up there, was he? And that's why Thuram tried to play it out to Martinez.
Yamal, again isolated with Bastoni, and again careless with his distribution.
Well, I think we've seen the pattern of this second half, haven't we? Barcelona are going to dominate the play, they're going to dominate the ball, they're going to be knocking at the door, and Inter will try and counter-attack at every opportunity.
Garcia. Stuart was talking the first leg about the bus semi-final second leg in 2010. Will Inter park the bus in the second half? Here's Di Marco, always a willing runner down that left-hand side. And all the way back to keeper Sommer. 20 clean sheets in his 45 games this season. Those clean sheets have been something of a rarity recently. If he keeps one tonight, they're through. Now, Rafinha thought he was caught late. Here's Yamal in behind and quickly smothered. Pedri wants a penalty. It's not going to come, I don't think.
Well, just for a moment there, he made a bad decision, Bastoni. He started to squeeze out as the ball was played beyond him. Now, when he comes back, he does use his arm, but then Yamal goes down rather easily. Just there.
He grabs his shirt.
Now Barcelona will of course be saying things haven't gone their way. There's an earlier foul. Again, the referee played advantage. No penalty given there. Not enough for the VAR.
De Jong. Here's Olmo. We know that Fermin Lopez will be chomping at the bit to come on. Robert Lewandowski's on the bench as well. Here's Yamal. As Stuart was saying earlier, it seems almost inevitable Barcelona will call on the pair of them Inigo Martinez always likely to get there late and did so on Thuram, and will get a yellow card.
Good diagonal pass. Thuram took it well. Heads it into his space. Yeah, and it's a poor challenge. The reason he goes to ground is because he's worried about the pace of Thuram. There's a lot of space in behind him. And quite right, he gets the yellow card for that. He was playing on the edge right at the end of the first half. Lost his head after that penalty was given. Inigo Martinez.
Thuram on the losing side in the World Cup final 2022 when Szymon Marciniak was the referee. On the winning side here tonight so far, takes his place in the D. Martinez is there with him as Marciniak takes a closer look on it. In comes the free kick. It's a brilliant header. It's a brilliant free kick. Acerbi was offside.
Well, all Barca do is just hold their line. You can see Acerbi's well offside.
And he got free. The defending again was suspect. He was clearly offside. Here's Frankie de Jong. Still over 60% of possession for Barcelona, but they just haven't created enough clear-cut chances, and when half chances have come, they've been a little bit tentative. Yamal had one in the first half. Here's de Jong and Pedri. Plays crisply out to Gerard Martin, takes the return. Look at Inter's shape at the back. To a man they're defending as an 11. Here's Pedri. To Yamal. DiMarco committed. Yamal's touch was tentative. And off goes Henrik Mkhitaryan. He's rolling the ears back, Mkhitaryan. 80th game in this competition, 157th in UEFA competitions, and looks long, but back goes Inigo Martinez to tidy up.
I think both of the players were just a fraction offside. That was better from Inigo Martinez. At least he tried to run back rather than just standing there and playing people offside.
Pedri. Comfortable in letting him have the ball, aren't they? Here's Yamal. Garcia's out wide. He goes back to Pedri. Tried to thread it through the middle. Now Martin, again no quality with the final ball from the left-hand side. That's better. Oh, it's a screamer. It's Eric Garcia from nowhere. It's a belter of a finish.
Gol Eric Garcia.
Barcelona back in the
Itu
tie.
loh Eric Garcia. Itu loh Eric Garcia.
Well, you said it. The first
Satu,
cross from
anjing.
Martin, as it's been for most of the evening and for most of the season when he's played, wasn't a good one, but when it comes back to him, he just plays it into the box. And Eric Garcia, with a lovely volley, has just put Barcelona back in the tie here. This is the first cross. That's what I'm saying. When he's got time to pick out people, he doesn't do so. This one he just plays into a general area. And the right back, Eric Garcia, with the inside of his right boot. What a big moment here for Barcelona.
Second Champions League goal for Eric Garcia, who started at Barca, went away to Manchester City, won the League Cup, Champions League runner-up, was never really looking comfortable as a player there. And back to Barcelona, didn't look comfortable off to Girona, as Stuart was telling you in the first half. What a strike that was, though. Game on.
Now they've got belief. They've dominated the start of this second half. Augusto is going to come on.
For DiMarco, I think. So on comes the Brazilian international, the Emperor, his nickname is, and they brought him from Monza. Has been a regular in this competition this season, only missed one Champions League game, not always starting, but he has started 6 of their last 8 games in all. Laid off by Thuram, it's a crisp strike and a really top-notch save to deny Barella. What a tie we have for you again.
Well, it's a lovely strike. Swerves towards the goalkeeper, gets both hands behind it. Certainly struck it cleanly, didn't he, Barella? So easy, just a throw into the front player, laid off, and Barella racing onto it. Now's a chance. They are threatening from set plays. Barcelona don't always defend them particularly well.
In it comes. A little touch on by Cherby, not enough. Now Yamal can set up a counter. Not the best of passes.
Nice.
But it's come all the way through here. Have they made a mess of it? It's Pedri. On it goes to Gerard Martin. Oh, it's a
Anjing, Jan Sommer. Apa itu Jan Sommer?
was denied another one. They were trying to walk it into the back of the net, but let's not take it away from Jan Sommer's save. Spectacular. It's Gerard Martin. Well, he thought the standing fullbacks would be suspect. They nearly combined there with a terrific goal.
Oh, just about to say, we've been critical of Martin. That could have been his second assist of the game. What a counter-attack it was. And I think they picked out the right passes. They did everything right, but Sommer has just produced a magnificent save here. Here's the counter. Started off by Yamal. Martin plays the right ball here. Garcia just helps it on.
Well, the director broke off because Barcelona are threatening again. It's the sort of game where you cannot just wait for replays to go through. Can't take your eye off it at the moment. In comes across from Martin. Inigo Martinez is up there. Garcia stayed in the middle. Kubasi is there as well all the way through goal kick.
Well, we both said all along the most dangerous players are Garcia and Gerard Martin. Here's another look at it. Lovely ball on his left foot. Well, he's got a lot of goal to aim for. You have to say Garcia should score. Of course he should. But Sommer does really well to get there. It's a nice height for him as well. Well, these 2 games have been so entertaining, haven't they? Full of quality, full of drama. It's been magnificent.
It's a tie to illuminate the rich tapestry of this great competition's history. Kubasi rises. It's offside anywhere in the middle. Is the momentum now with Barcelona, though they trail on the night and on aggregate. Well, about 2 goals in 3 minutes, and Yamal has skipped beyond his man. Out to meet him came Alessandro Bastoni. Block challenge unfair, says the referee.
Well, welcome to the game, Augusto. Yamal went past him very easily down that far side of the field. Here. Whoops, there we go. And Bastoni eventually comes out and just sticks out that trailing leg and catches him, I think. Just there. Oh, he actually won the ball. He actually clipped the ball, didn't he, Bastoni?
Well, they will fume if Barcelona score from here. Rafinha, who's been very quiet all night, and Pedri over the ball. Rafinha with a flat delivery that hit Ferran Torres. Has it back again. Another flat ball in, cleared away by Mkhitaryan. De Jong. Martin might have a go from there. Oh, it's a lovely ball in. It's a brilliant goal. This time the flag stays down. Dani Olmo, who's been so quiet for so long.
Dani Olmo.
Last week they came back from 2-0 down, and would you believe it?
Let's go.
Again, 5-5 on aggregate.
Credit has to go to, first of all, Frankie de Jong, because he was going to put the
Dani
ball out to the other
Olmo.
side. Plays
Dua-dua,
it to
bro.
But another brilliant cross. Just went in behind
what
Inter.
a header,
Dani
bro.
Olmo coming round the back, you
What
can't really miss.
a header.
6 yards out, running onto it. Good
What
header.
a header,
What a
Dani
ball played in
Olmo.
by Martin. He's suddenly come to the fore, the left back.
2 quality balls from Martin. who'd hardly struck a decent pass.
Remontada nggak sih, Jess?
Now, and Barcelona with 2 goals in 6 minutes have dragged this semi-final second leg out of the gutter. Olmo wins it back again. Inter are shell-shocked. Here's Rafinha. And Barcelona are at their throats. Dani Olmo gets a shot away but slid.
Yeah, not the right decision there. Could have played it out to the right-hand side and Yamal. Oh, and it was all going so well for Inter. What a moment that was for Dani Olmo, coming round the back. Good header. One he should score with.
He has 9 goals this season, Dani Olmo. Only a couple in this competition. De Jong once again is grabbed a big game by the scruff of its neck.
You didn't see it on the replay, but he was looking to play it out to the right-hand side and then just checked himself, played it out to the left-hand side, and Martin was in space, and then he delivered the killer pass. We said it in the first half, the way Inter shape up, the fullbacks are always going to be free for Barcelona. It's whether they make anything of it. Well, they have in this second half.
Yamal. Here's Pedri. Martin running right at the moment, came off Bisek, lifted away by a wearied-looking Francesco Acerbi. And you wonder about that substitution now. Carlos Augusto for Di Marco, maybe he was injured. That's offside, way offside, surely, yes it is, against Marcus Thuram. What a difference. What a difference, Martin.
That was a tight one. Just looking at Thuram there, so he was just struggling with his run.
And he has missed games recently with a groin problem.
Just watch him closing down here. He's not doing it with any sort of athleticism. And that was the case against Bayern when he came off eventually.
Options on the bench will be Marco Arnautovic and Mehdi Taremi, who came on in the first leg, and I can't remember him doing anything, to be honest, in that first leg.
No, you're absolutely right. But I think he would be the first choice. Arnautovic plays in a lot of Serie A games, but not always in the big ones.
And Taremi has been a regular in the Champions League. He started 7 games for them in this competition. That's dropped in too short by De Jong. Now, don't forget, Barcelona felt that they had the initiative. The pendulum had swung their way when they got back to 2-2 in the first leg. And then Inter went ahead again. Only for that brilliant Rafinha strike to hit the woodwork, bouncing off the back of Jan Sommer. It has been a sensational time. Garcia trying to turn on the flicks and tricks, they've given it away. And it's Martinez.
Ngentot.
To Dumfries, important challenge needed to be won, and was. At the moment, it's been a huge role. Both ends of the field of play, Gerard Martin. He's a Barcelona boy. He was signed from a junior club called Cornellà back in 2021. Here they come again. Rafinha. Dani Olmo took it in his stride. Oh, he flicked it away to Ferran Torres. Yamal was up in support. Wrong option, wrong choice.
Yeah, wrong choice as well by Bisek. Gave it away to Dani Olmo.
Remontada.
He didn't fancy his pace there. He could have run straight at goal. Decided to play it to Dani Olmo, who then didn't pick out the right pass. Maybe could have shot himself.
Kemarin babak pertama
yang
jelas dua anjing menit 4 dua sama aja bangsa dari 2-0 oke.
Thuram's not moving genuinely, as Stuart was saying, and Antonio Martinez had that injury from the first leg.
I'm just looking at Thuram, and he does seem to be struggling.
Nico Martinez Martinez, Rafinha. Is there a big moment to come from him in the game? Pedri, been superb again. In the first half, they had the top 6 passes in the game. All on the shirt of Barcelona.
Inter are hanging on here. They've lost the momentum, they've lost their confidence.
Now here goes Yamal.
Nice banget
Again,
Yamal.
scampering past.
Let's go.
The substitute left back gets the crossing headed away by Dumfries, who hasn't been able to maraud forward at all in this second half. Garcia. Pedri to Martin. Just came flicked off there.
Ayo, bisa.
Barcelona press, Pedri carrying it to them. Yamal spun away by Acerbi, who can barely raise a walk, let alone a gallop. One back again by Barcelona. They are winning everything at the moment, and Inter look very, very jaded. Here's Rafinha. Has been a criticism of Inter of late, especially in the home defeat by Roma that followed that second leg of the Italian Cup home. Well,
Mkhitaryan
does it against Milan, the local derby, when they were beaten 3-0, and Inter watchers said they look absolutely exhausted, raised their game against Barcelona, but they're wilting here.
And they've got aging players. Çalhanoğlu in midfield. Acerbi at the back. Mkhitaryan seems to play the whole 90 minutes in most of the big games. Inter have completely lost any sort of momentum here.
Approaching the midway mark in the second half. Yamal absolutely slaughtering Colossal Gusto at the moment. Can't get near him. That's a risky ball.
Kelas.
Yamal!
Wah, penalti,
Referee gives a penalty.
penalti udah jelas anjing. Penalti anjing, udah jelas, udah nggak usah far-faran, penalti anjing.
But they have
Penalti,
defended deeper and
penalti.
deeper, and they've looked more and
Jelas,
more
anjing, udah
jaded
jelas.
and leggy. It was a risky
Jelas.
challenge. Was it in?
Denger ya
Was
botak
it
ya,
out? The
denger ya
referee's
botak
given a
ini
penalty.
jelas penalti ya.
Well, I think it
Gua
might have
rekam,
started
gua
out, but it ends up.
Ini penalti nih.
Well, it is. It's a very difficult one again, isn't it? Because it starts outside the box there.
Fix banget itu udah penalti. Ambil.
And there's still contact when he's inside the
Ngambil
box.
kaki orang.
So this is a tough one to call.
Penalti.
Which means it can
Ayo
be
let's go
given
remontada
as a
anjing.
penalty if the foul is
Nggak usah
continued
dicek-cek,
inside the box.
nggak usah dicek,
Denies
udah
attacking
pasti penalti. Kemon, ayo Katop. Penalti,
We can't tell you
nggak usah lama-lama.
the discussions
Ayo
between
Katop,
the
penalti
referee and the
Katop,
VAR.
nggak usah lama-lama. Mau diulang.
There's the contact, and
Nah,
there's the contact outside
jelas
the box,
di
but
dalam
he
kotak
still lifts his leg
digunting.
and gets a bit of
Kaki,
Yamal when he's inside the box.
Penalti.
Outside the
Nah,
box is
dicek.
given.
Oh, udah, biarin dah, ayo dah.
Has he?
Buru. Apa sih maksudnya begini?
You can see the
Tipis,
arguments either
dikit.
way. But as he just signalled to the referee, it was an inch in it.
See, there's the initial contact. It's whether it goes on inside the box as Yamal's breaking forward. And I think Yamal just leaves his leg there. So again, it's a very tight call.
Few inches.
No complaints this time from Barcelona.
Confirmed on the UEFA website that the Inter player number 22, Mkhitaryan, committed the foul outside the penalty area. But Rafinha,
Geser bawah.
will history be repeated? Scored
Biasanya
past
rapinya
his
geser
third in the
bawah.
first leg with help from Sommer. It went down as an own goal
Biasanya
with a blistering
rapinya
strike.
geser bawah.
Can he score here? Goal 32 of the season. No, lays it off. Almost sets it up. Yamal, his own player.
Mundur, mulai.
Oh, hit Frankie de Jong. I'm not sure whether it was going in or not. I think it was going wide. Well, they got away with that one, Inter. It was their own mistake. They gave the ball away. They just can't get out at the moment.
See Acerbi screaming at Carlos Augusto, I think it was. They're going to make a couple of changes. They need to. Darmian is going to come on at the back, and Meditaremi is going to come on for Lautaro Martinez. Bisek is the defender who's going off. What are your thoughts here, Stuart?
Well, obviously Martinez can't be fully fit. Had that injury in the last game. Ran hard in the first half, just can't raise a gallop now. So Taremi is going to have to lead the line alongside what I would say is a struggling Thuram. And Bisek has done okay, but Darmian can play as that third centre half in a back three. I think Dumfries will still play outside of him.
Only three of their changes.
One of them, I think, could be a very costly one. We need to find out why DiMarco was taken off. We'll find out in the post-mortem to this game. But certainly Carlos Augusto has been struggling badly since he came on.
Bisa Barca. Bisa.
Remontada, tenang. Pemain belakangnya jangan sampai blunder. Pokoknya tenang aja udah. Bola di kaki
Played at the weekend, he started the game against Verona.
Menyerang boleh, tapi juga pertahanannya jangan sampai di counter.
Time starts in the last six, but he came off the bench in the first game with 8 minutes to play.
Mendekat ke gawang musuh. Ayo.
He came on in a different role, didn't he? Came on for Dumfries, he played as the wing back. Now he's playing, as you can see, just as the right-sided centre-half, picking up Rafinha here.
Atur tempo, santai, boleh masuk.
Barella
Ambil lagi
cut it
Rafinha.
out.
Good.
Here's Rafinha.
Remontada kah? Remontada.
Thought about a shot.
Ayo.
Now
Yamal goyang goreng.
again beats the defender with ease, pops across too high.
Lagi. Martin kayaknya lemes tapi.
Wonder how fit Denzel Dumfries is as well. He's came into this game with 109 minutes under his
Kesalahan
belt
banyak di babak pertama.
after a month out with a hamstring injury.
Olmo juga sekali dapat bola
He played a pulsating role in that first leg. Not as effective today. 5-5 on Agden. Olmo with the corner kick for Barcelona.
Please.
The third corner of the game.
Please.
Yamal. De Jong is available. Bypasses him. Oh, someone's been knocked down on the edge of the D. He was blindsided. Now he's having a look. Is it Pedri who went down? Rafinha very deep. Yamal dropping into space. Can conjure from there.
Itu masih out.
Garcia wasn't coming round the back.
Terus.
Matteo Darmian trots across back to his right side defensive role.
Gue males banget
Coming on the
situasi
Europa League
kayak
with
gini tuh.
Manchester United.
Come on, ayo bisa man. Please banget.
Who will make the final on the road to Munich?
Waduh, jebol lagi di internet banget.
Given
Ke
away there by
kanan,
Mkhitaryan.
boleh Erik, tenang Erik.
Kubasi waiting for some movement. Here it
Good.
comes. Kubasi, oh, there's a little nudge in there.
Good,
In
nice.
comes across above Ferran Torres. Rafinha pressurising Dumfries. He gets it away.
Good banget.
Look at Inzaghi on the
Nico.
touchline. So
Martin.
animated, always is. But there's a desperation about his movement. That's cleared away by Darmian.
Belakangnya.
Well, there's just no span to play now for Inter.
Hati-hati nih orang ya.
They just can't keep the ball.
Akhirnya kayak kancil
Again,
gitu.
Thuram really is just, I'd say hobbling, but just can't seem to raise a gallop, can he?
Araujo's going to come on for Barcelona imminently. There he
Jangan
is
langsung ke
waiting
atas,
to
bor
come
lu,
on.
nice. Pelan-pelan, ayo maju, press pelan-pelan, maju pelan-pelan, press pelan-pelan,
Don't think it would be Martin because he's the player that's just created
Araujo udah mau
a
masuk,
couple of
Araujo.
goals, but
Itu gue harus refresh nggak sih? Ntar gue refresh, gue lagi anjing. Refresh nggak sih?
They look for Torres up front.
Bisa.
Away by Sommer. But but Marcus Thuram can't hold it up. Whatever happens, Inter have played a huge role in a treasure of a tie.
Is it going to be Eric Garcia? Maybe he's got a slight injury.
Yeah, he's limping there.
Nice.
No, it's going to be Martinez coming off. Inigo Martinez.
Nice, Martinez. You did a good job, bro. Nice, Martinez. Masuk Araujo. Jangan sampai kartu merah atau apa, jangan sampai pelanggaran dah.
Years of age, but what a performance he's put in again tonight, replaced by Araujo. Free kick to Barcelona, again for offside. Nancy Flick's team on top at the moment.
Just given the armband to the player that's just come on. Frank de Jong to Araujo. We've had a few captains this year, and Rafinha was captain for many of the games. And then Frankie de Jong.
Changes Kubasi's position, he goes to the left-hand side now. Martin, Ferran Torres. Olmo to Yamal. Garcia's on the outside. Pedri's available. Yamal! Super save by Jan Sommer. Made three really top-notch saves in the first leg. He's made a couple tonight.
Oh, this is as good as any. Look at this for a strike, right into the top corner. And that bottom hand, brilliant from Sommer.
Good save.
Inter don't really close down. You better frighten the foul in him.
Pusing kepala gue nih, pertandingan apa sih, Cok?
Oh, the hierarchy of Barcelona. Deco in there as well. Former great.
Joan Laporta. Deco, Barcelona's great and good here. Olmo with the corner kick.
Defend.
Away it goes from Mkhitaryan. Gerard Martin rises. Hoisted up to Mehdi Taremi. Comes back here to Thuram. Taremi was offside. And it's taken quickly. Rafinha, 13 minutes to go before we head into extra time. Away goals, of course, no longer count. Here's Yamal, taunting, teasing, tantalising. Delicious skills. Someone pushed it away. It might have been arcing in, similar to the run in the first leg where he got to the byline and very nearly scored, hit the woodwork. He's such an expressive player, an expression of joy on the football field. Pedri. Martin with the cross. And somehow Acerbi stretched a wearied 36-year-old foot out and got it away.
We're going to see a substitution for Inter now. Çalhanoğlu, who scored the penalty, or is it Mkhitaryan? Mkhitaryan got a yellow card. So one of those challenges, I think.
Fratese's going to come on. Zielinski's down there as well, and the veteran midfield players who've run themselves into the ground both replaced.
Fratese, who scored that winner against Bayern in the first game, last minute. Straight swap in terms of the positional play. Zielinski's a good player. Saw a lot of him for Napoli.
Wonderful season when they won the Scudetto. Arrived at Inter on a free in the summer. 2-2 on the night, 5-5 on aggregate. Carlos Augusto all given away. Pedri wins it back. And here, there and everywhere. Takes the return. Comfortable on the ball, wants the ball. Just over 10 minutes to go. De Jong. Here's Yamal. Martin awaits on that left-hand side. And Kubasi. Again, Pedri comes short. They're trying to work the ball around Inter. De Jong. Not a good ball down the line. And he looks tired now, Eric Garcia.
Anjing, he looks tired now. Bilang capek gara-gara tapi yes ya. 80 guys.
These two substitutions are going to have an impact for Inter.
Wah,
Got to play with a bit more dynamism. Zielinski, Fratesi.
Firmino is going to come on. Only Barcelona's second substitute. Inter have made 5.
You'd imagine it will be a straight swap for Dani Olmo, scorer of the second goal. They play in exactly the same position. Different sort of players.
Bastoni for Inter, come back into the game a little bit after the changes. Dumfries, can they yet win this late? Is a shooting opportunity. Fratesi with the shot on the spin. Has it again. Zielinski. Can they get the cross in here? Good work at the back by Garcia. Pumped to wearied leg to stop the cross from Carlos Augusto, and listen to the Inter fans.
Well, it's the first time for a long time they've had the ball in the attacking third. It all started with a switch of play out to Dumfries. That's still the pass that can cause them problems.
It is that straight swap.
good job
And the
Olmo.
score of the equalising goal departs.
Yes.
And on comes Fermin Lopez. One goal in the competition this season against Red Star away, 6 in all. Big travelling support from Catalonia.
Last week they didn't look at each other when Dani Olmo was taken off. Big hug today for the player that scored the equaliser.
Fermin, not at the pace of the game, gave it away. Thuram. Away it goes by Martin. Pedri. De Jong put his head in, been super again for them. No secret that Barcelona wanted him away, he wanted to stay. Linked so heavily with Manchester United, didn't want to move there.
I think it's fair to say he made the right decision. We've been seeing what's gone on at the two clubs over the last year or so.
Yep. For the moment, Manchester United are in the doldrums, but they could be in this competition next season should they win the Europa. And they're well placed in their semi-final. De Jong. Pedri. Showboating about the type of pass he tried to play. Not at this stage. Bit cutesy.
Well, he's made two exceptional saves, hasn't he? Sommer.
Anjir.
That one from Yamal, the one from Eric Garcia, kept his team in it here.
Perpanjangan waktu capek banget.
Martin.
Ya.
Two terrific contributions to the
Anjing,
goals,
Martin
but he's
ngapain
given it
ngumpul
away as
situ,
he looked
anjing?
for Rafinha. Dumfries around the corner. Thuram, flag stays down. What an important clearance that was by Eric Garcia. The flag eventually goes up. Or it might have been Araujo, it was.
Just the first signs for a long time that Inter are starting to pose a threat. You can see he was offside quite clearly.
7 times they've been caught offside. Damian's left a foot in there on, or something in there on Fermin. Got him round the throat.
Yeah, it was that leg that he lifted up as he headed it. Here's the opening goal. Good play from Dumfries. This is the result of the penalty that was given. Çalhanoğlu makes it 2-0. But the second half has belonged to Barcelona. First of all with the Eric Garcia finish, and this fairly comfortable header from Dani Olmo. Great camera work.
The power of recovery has been tremendous this season. So many times they've been in adverse positions and have come back. But they've never led this time. Min hobbles away. Here's Yamal. Moving the ball so effortlessly. Takes the return from Pedri. At times they funneled him in there and done a good job. Frenkie de Jong has covered so much ground.
I think it's fair to say that Hansi Flick doesn't think that Lewandowski's quite ready enough to play any part in the game, because he'd have been on by now, I would have thought. Ferran Torres hasn't really had that many chances or had an impact on the game.
Little touch off, attempted to find Pedri, didn't make it smart. Into look for Thuram, this time he is onside, and Chesney had to come. So many battles against Inter in his past with Juventus.
There again, in the first half, Thuram would have got a lot closer to that.
They can make one more change. Should it go to extra time in 3 minutes? Here's Yamal. No foul. Barella with the challenge. Tired pass though. Pedri. No one's run more than him in the game. Rafinha against summer breaks. Rafinha! It's in! Ferran Torres made sure that he didn't touch the ball, he would have been offside. And Barcelona lead with 3 minutes to go. What a turnaround! What a second leg! What a tie! It has simply been a treasure.
Remontada!
Barcelona 3.
Remontada!
Barcelona for the first time in the tie. Lead it.
Well, they want the ball back in a good area. The pass is
Rafinha!
First strike is a nice one straight at the goalkeeper, but good composure to finish it with his right foot. Yeah, and as you said, Ferran Torres was standing offside.
What a
he doesn't
shot!
get involved, gets out the way. Sommer should make the save, but it comes back out into a dangerous area with his right foot on the volley. Very good finish.
It is being checked, surely not for offside because he played no role in it. I think he's signalling to the players there will be 5 minutes. 5 more minutes.
What a
Check is over, the goal is given.
What
And for Rafinha, it's goal 32 of a
comeback
remarkable
is
season.
real. Final, we're coming to final. Remontada 2-0 jadi 3-2.
Well, he's not been at his most effective, has he, tonight? But the part he played in Barcelona's brilliance this season.
The young legs have carried the day. Or have they? Dumfries trying to break that high line again. But Barcelona, they're nearly there. The referees seem to signal that 5 minutes of stoppage time. We'll wait to confirm that for you.
Well, most teams, when they go 3-2 up with a few minutes to play, would be dropping off. Barcelona were trying to squeeze as high up as they possibly could there.
Good.
Important challenge won by Gerard Martin. What a strength he's been. Olmo leading the cheers on the near touchline. It's touched up here. And very nearly an opportunity for Tacey up in attack again. Nearly came to him. That's a foul. Acerbi, too zealous, too passionate, too close. Dumfries Reece looks perplexed and Lautaro Martinez glassy-eyed.
Well, I think we might see one or two bits of drama. Lewandowski is fit enough to come on.
Lewandowski dimasukkan ketika udah 3.
Will he be playing just 5 minutes or will he be playing 35 minutes?
Ferran Torres, good Ferran Torres.
The way this tie has gone,
Rit.
you wouldn't
Rit
bet
nggak?
against him to score in and get
Rit
an
dong.
equaliser, would you?
Well, he has 40 goals.
Thank you cuy,
this
semangat
season.
bang Mon, thank you Mon, makasih Mon.
In this competition, he has 12.
Ayo.
Scarcely believe it. Looking on the Inter-coach, Simone Inzaghi. Wouldn't it be something if Lewandowski does get the goal? On the competition with Bayern.
Allianz Arena, we're coming. Allianz
He's trying to
Arena.
wrestle his way away. Free kick given against Gerard Martin. Barcelona trying to stop them, take it quickly.
Yeah, somebody from Barcelona kicked the ball on the field there, I think.
Tambah 5 menit lagi nih, mau banget tuh.
You get a grip with it though, Simon Marciniak, in all the passion and all the hullabaloo of this wonderful second leg. He's kept his head.
And he's had to make a couple of really big decisions.
Varela with the free kick in, glancing header out by Lewandowski. Throw to Inter. And still the drama goes on. Bastoni's long throw into the middle. Should be shepherded away by Pedri. Eric Garcia commits to the challenge but doesn't slide in. Didn't give away the free kick. Bastoni's long throw again to threaten Barcelona's lead. Little touch on, suspicion of handball there. And Barcelona will break. Yamal, Rafinha's to his left-hand side. Here's Pedri. Will he wait for support and play conservatively? Do they know how to play conservatively? Yamal, Lewandowski in the middle. Yamal to settle it off the woodwork. He nearly had the last word.
Oh, he tried to go in at the near post. Another good counter-attack. Oh, the goalkeeper didn't stick out an arm here. He was probably beaten. Here's where they wanted a handball. Well, it comes off his thigh onto his arm, Lewandowski, so it won't be handball. Good decision again by the referee.
Nice decision, nggak handball itu.
Referee playing on here. It should have been a free kick for Inter. We're halfway through stoppage time. Barca 2.5 minutes away from the final. Or are they? Nearly came to Dumfries. Referee says play on. Dumfries into the middle! It's another twist! It's a goal by Francesco Acerbi at the age of 36 to make it 6.
Anjir.
On aggregate.
Apa anjing kayak begitu?
Unbelievable.
Well played, Dumfries. He did really well against Gerard Martin. Still a very good finish by Acerbi. At the near post. Kabasi tries to win the first ball, doesn't quite get it right.
Gak
When it
jelas
comes out to
anjing.
Dumfries, it's not a good pass to him, and it looks as though Martin was going to win it back. But there's the ball played in. Araujo is marking on the wrong side, but what a good finish. What a really good finish this is from Acerbi, the centre-back, with his right foot, his weaker foot, just sweeps it beyond Chesney.
2 match cuy, 3 sama.
What
Apaan
drama
sih?
here.
He's never scored a European goal. He hasn't scored anywhere since April of 2023. He looked down and out. Looks as if he could barely walk. Francesco Acerbi. What a story. The goal was checked.
Of course, he's going to get a yellow card for taking his shirt off.
Do you think he minds?
Well, as long as he doesn't get a second one later on in the game.
Stres gua anjing.
Well, we have a minute of stoppage time to go. Referee got a yellow card here. Martin or one of the coaching staff.
Hansi Flick and somebody else. Fourth official making sure they get the right man.
Oh, we'll try and let you know who that was. Hansi Flick, definitely. Well, they can't. Initially, as the move built up, Acerbi was in an offside position, but not when the final ball came into it.
I think they were trying to claim there was a foul on Gerard Martin, but I don't think there was.
Yamal, we've had 5 minutes of stoppage time. Away by Bastoni, Yamal on by Lewandowski. Just that Yamal very nearly secured the victory. The shot that hit the post. He's onside from the throw-in, of course, into the penalty area. Inter dealt with it. Garcia. It's one back here high. And they look for Fratesi, and it's cleared away. And we'll surely go to an extra 30 minutes. Well, will we, Rafinha? Yamal into the penalty area. Straight to Sommer. Might have been pulled back, but he went on. And the keeper's made yet another important save.
Well, is he a little bit too honest here? Oh, he tries to toe poke it. Oh, big moment, which he doesn't take.
We go to extra time in San Siro. 3-3 on the night, 6-6 on aggregate. Into 2-0 up as they were last week. Barca back to 2-2 and then ahead through Rafinha. But only for Acerbi to level in stoppage time. And we have another half an hour of this. 6-all on aggregate. Would you believe it?
Terjadi di Giuseppe Meazza, dan Anda lihat pemirsa, ada 6 gol yang terjadi di pertandingan ini dan ada 2 gol yang terjadi dalam menit-menit terakhir, di mana tim Barcelona tampaknya memang berhasil mencetak gol melalui Rafinha. Seakan-akan pertandingan akan selesai, tetapi Acerbi datang di saat yang tepat dan menyamakan kedudukan menjadi 3-3.
Iya, meskipun akhirnya harus berakhir dengan 3-3, kita juga harus mengapresiasi bagaimana Barcelona yang sudah tertinggal 2 gol bisa bangkit di babak kedua, mencetak 2 gol balasan, menyamakan kedudukan menjadi 2-2 sebelum akhirnya 3-3. Jadi dalam kualifikasi maupun fase grup musim ini, Inter hanya kebobolan 5 gol dari 12 pertandingan awal.
Betul sekali. Sementara pemirsa, dengan apa yang dicatatkan tentunya oleh Rafinha, ini dia menjadi top skor ya di UEFA Champions League. Dan benar-benar tampilan yang sangat luar biasa apa yang dilakukan. Tidak terlihat di babak yang pertama Rafinha berhasil mencetak gol, dan Olmo juga berhasil mencetak gol. Sebaliknya, beberapa pergantian yang dilakukan oleh Inter ternyata membuahkan hasil juga.
Iya, hari ini kita melihat bahwa Inter memang sempat agak sedikit down sesudah disamakan 2-2 ya. Tapi Coach Simone berhasil melakukan perubahan dengan memasukkan pemain-pemain yang lebih agresif. Bahkan dia mendorong pemain belakang Acerbi untuk ikut menyerang di akhir pertandingan, yang kemudian terbukti efektif ya. Tadi saya ingin menambahkan tadi bahwa Barcelona bisa mencetak 6 gol ke gawang Inter hanya dari 2 pertandingan. Sementara 12 pertandingan Inter musim ini di Liga Champions hanya kebobolan 5 gol. Jadi itu menggambarkan betapa dahsyatnya juga daya dobrak Barcelona.
Ya, saya juga kembali lagi nih mencatatkan, kalau bukan Sommer ya hari ini, Anda lihat bagaimana Zanetti. Kalau bukan Sommer, mungkin bisa Anda lihat Yamal sudah bisa mendapatkan golnya gitu loh.
Dan sempat juga tadi salah satu tendangan Yamal mengenai tiang ya. Ini kalau bukan karena Inter punya mental juara ya,
luar biasa.
Pengalaman ya.
Luar biasa Anda lihat pemirsa. Jadi Inter hari ini mempertontonkan kualitasnya ya, kualitas Itali banget ya. Memang benar-benar mentalnya nomor 1. Semua orang sudah menyangka pertandingan berakhir dengan 3-2. Tapi ternyata Acerbi, seorang pemain bertahan, bisa mencetak gol pemirsa. Dan sekarang kita lihat 2 kali 15 menit yang kedua, atau 2 kali 15 menit ya yang akan dimainkan tentunya. Ini akan menjadi sangat menarik. Kalau udah soal sekarang, ini udah soal bicara lagi-lagi bagaimana para pemain bisa melewati fase ya beyond the limitnya, bisa memaksa push the limitnya dia.
Secara fisik pasti sudah sangat kelelahan dengan pertandingan yang intensitasnya sangat tinggi ya.
Iya, ini luar biasa. Udah ke final ya.
Iya. Ini bisa dibilang final kepagian ya.
Betul.
Karena memang sudah pagi sekarang.
Baiklah pemirsa, kembali menyaksikan extra time. Kita akan saksikan pertandingannya.
For the extra time period. Have you ever seen anything like this, Sean?
Lewandowski,
Not really.
ayo dong
We should have expected it,
anjing.
shouldn't we, after the first game?
Please, my
Certainly
god,
went into
my
it
god,
2-0
my
up.
god, my god, my god, my god.
Barcelona, you felt were always going to have a go and try and get themselves back into it with their quality, which they did. But what we didn't expect was Inter, as tired as they were, having not much of the ball, to get back and make it 3-3.
He looks daggers there, doesn't he? Lautaro Martinez. But he didn't look fit to continue. They were weary. They had no one really up front. Off he went. And we've made inquiries. Pau Victor was the Barcelona substitute cautioned, when Hansi Flick was also cautioned after that equalising goal. And we're nearly ready to go. No changes before the first half of extra time. They can make another one. Also, still have 3 left. Off we go in extra time.
Let's go.
Ball played out to Bastoni. In fact, Barcelona, because they've made their changes in 3 different windows, only make the extra one. Here now is Yamal, skipping beyond Zielinski this time. And he has the freshest legs out there. An exuberant young player.
He's been exceptional again tonight. Every time he's had the ball, you think there's going to be a threat, a moment of danger.
Pedri, outstanding, cover more ground than anyone else. De Jong, outstanding. Yamal tries to get beyond the substitute. Carlos Augusto fouls him and get a yellow.
And he wants to get tight. Yamal knew that, just played it beyond him. Tried to run round the other side, and he sticks up his arm as well, which probably got him the yellow card.
Barcelona always behind in the tie into Rafinha's goal after 87 minutes, and they were in front in the tie for what, 8 minutes. Rafinha with the free kick, headed up and away. It was Mehdi Taremi who got that header out. Zielinski, they'll look to him, I think, to hold and carry at times. Alessandro Bastoni will take the throw. It's 50th game of the season. And he's having to play the extra half out. Garcia, Rose, to throw to Inter. Never lost a European Cup semi-final game at home. Haven't lost in 6 Champions League home games at the San Siro since Bayern won here in September 2022. Resilience shown tonight. Barella blocked by Araujo.
Babi.
Then from Fermin Lopez. And Cherby won it. Confirmation of Pau Victor's yellow card for dissent.
That wasn't Pau Victor, that was
Inigo Martinez.
He was surprisingly taken off. Unless he's got a slight knock.
Unless it referred to the Martinez yellow card from way back in the game.
Great opportunity to play the ball in there for Fratesi. He's got him behind. There was 2 players racing into the box. Well, he didn't hit it with any sort of conviction, did he? Martin just about got back in time.
minutes gone in extra time. Here comes the long throw looking for Dumfries, beyond him. De Jong's just flicked out of foot. And that's a push by Carlos Augusto.
There's a little nudge in the back on Eric Garcia. Just landed awkwardly there, I think.
Gerard Martin plays out. Lewandowski comes short. Rafinha was going to play it down the line to Firmin. Looks for Araujo. And now Garcia has Yamal. Barella's come across to help out the hard-pressed Carlos Augusto. What we don't want is this game to go to penalties after it being such a classic. Whoever wins it, here's De Jong. Pedri. Remarkable stamina. Yamal, a man with magic in the feet. Brings in Gerard Martin. Of course, lobbed into Lopez, wasn't the best, and out it goes then by Augusto. De Jong well placed. Yamal. Bastoni is there with him, and he got a foot in.
Nice.
Through here, very nearly for Pedri. I have to say, Jan Sommer over the two games has been terrific, hasn't he?
He certainly has. Those couple of saves were really good, weren't they? The first one from Eric Garcia. Yes, of course, Garcia should have scored. But he still had to get up and get across his goal line. And that one from Yamal with his bottom hand. Looked a certain goal when he hit it, Yamal.
He had half a dozen in the first leg. That when Yamal from the impossible angle hit the post, remember, and then from the reverse angle we saw it. In fact, it was a really good save. Thuram. Can he pressurise young Kubasi? Throughout the 97 minutes, Barcelona have had 64% of the ball. 16 efforts to Inter's 11. It's still nothing between the sides. De Jong. Off goes Martin. Rafinha could slide it through to him. He's onside, I think. No, he went too early. Well, they called it Inter. He's furious the ball wasn't played through earlier.
He's offside. Martin it was that maybe could have passed it that little bit quicker. Eric Garcia has done better than I thought he would. Scored that first goal, got his team back into it. And on comes Fort, another young player.
Another player who's come through the youth team ranks, 18-year-old Hector Fort. Played 1 minute of the competition so far this season against young boys. He's started their last couple of league games. But unlike Eric Garcia, he is a right back. Thuram battling on. Araujo is there with him. Dumfries up in support. Thuram has done really well. Look at the strength of the man. Laid off by Mediterranean. Fratesi! Well, he scored a huge goal against Bayern Munich. He's got another one now. And Inter ahead again in this time. On the night, 7-6 on aggregate. Amazing.
Well, we talked about Thuram being tired. He did really well on this occasion. They've got to get their focus back here. Inter don't want to spend too much time celebrating. They know that Barcelona are going to be back at them. But what a finish from Fratesi. Yes, he had a bit of time, but he kept his composure. and then just passed it into the corner. There's Thuram. Did really well to hold off the first challenge. Then again, does brilliantly to get away from Araujo. The setup play is good, but what a finish that is from Fratesi. Taremi is the player that set it up. Just stopped himself hitting it first time. Saw that Kubasi couldn't get tight enough, and then just bent it into the corner. It's a great goal.
You just wonder if Martinez was marshalling that defence, whether there would have been the space in there. There have been one or two strange substitutions. And he doesn't get many goals. He's only ever scored 3 in Europe. One against Bayern in the last round, the winner, and he could have got the winner in the semi.
He just saves them for the important times, doesn't he?
Didn't he celebrate? Can Barcelona drag themselves back into it yet again? Here's Pedri. Pace seems just to have dropped a little bit. Hector Fort. Yamal. All the way through. Do I discern a weariness in the bodies of some of the Barcelona players? A little bit shoulders drooped?
Maybe mentally. They thought they had the game won when Rafinha scored. Well, I think he's spent so much energy celebrating Fratesi. Just got himself in a bit of trouble here.
I wonder if the whole exuberance of the goal celebrations have got to him.
Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Roger Osborne, FA Cup final, wasn't it, all those years ago, Ipswich Arsenal?
I don't think he played much football after that, did he, Roger Osborne? Scored the winner in a 1-0 FA Cup final, but could this be the winner that takes them to the Champions League? Inter. See how pumped up he is. Jumped on, I suppose it's a gate really that he started to climb.
They're suggesting there to the bench that he could have a few foggy issues here, and how much do the celebrations take out of him, because I didn't see him get a head knock. Will concussion protocol come into this? Had an effect since he came on.
Oh, he's starting to whip up the crowd again. He's all right. And they're not quite so pleased.
It's been a humid night, the rain is pouring. Fermin Lopez looks for Yamal. Cross comes Bastoni. He wanted it more. Thuram not bothering to chase after that. But you have to say, the little energy he has left in that body, which has been knocked by injury recently, he used so well for that Inter goal. Kubasi. Pedri. Ronaldo Araujo. Fortis to his right hand side. Just a little bit hesitant with their deliveries. Pedri wants, how much more running can there possibly be in Pedri? Yamal. Strokes the pass in Rafinha. Lewandowski trying to jink his way through, trying to set up here. Hector Fort, surely not from the youngster. Well, that would have been some story.
Well, it was a big first touch when it came to him here. So he's got a good run at it. Augusto comes out to him. He's just got to keep over it. Hector Fort ends up being a wayward shot.
Oh, the heavens have opened. We have a deluge. A heavenly game of football, this. 4-3, 7-6 on aggregate. It will long live in the memory. It goes Kubasi. Touched on by Pedri. Here's Fermin Lopez. Looking for Rafinha. And Bastoni, who's kept at it throughout, gets it away. Hector Ford. Closing moments of the first half of extra time. Pedri. Is there another twist? He could force the ball through. So many twists and turns. Thinking of Dani Olmo, we thought he wasn't effective. We thought time had come for him, and then he pops up with a goal that made it 2-2. Here's Yamal. Gerard Martin's got to go some to keep this in play. It'll be a throw only to Inter. Wearied, he goes back up the line. Gerard Martin, he's played his part tonight. We thought both full-backs would be suspect and both had major roles to play. Stoppage time, end of the first half of extra time. It's adding insult to injury, isn't it? Free kick here to Barcelona. Here's Yamal. Hector Ford outside him. Couldn't get away from his man. Araujo finds Fort. Dion still prompting, still orchestrating. Yamal, little chip ball looking for Lewandowski. Sommer comes and makes the save.
Yeah, right pass, just too much on it. Good run from Lewandowski. Just took his defender away and then made a darting run back into the danger area.
Now, did he get there late? Araujo certainly caught Thuram.
The ball was in between the two. He just gets there first, Thuram. It's a brave challenge because he knows he's going to take a whack if he gets there first.
He's one of the most expressive touchline managers in the game, Simone Inzaghi. Goals in his time, 90 in his club career. Lilian Thuram looks on. Barella takes it right-footed. Made by Gerard Martin. Rafinha back defending. Martin, hard press, gives it away to Dumfries. They get another, surely it's over. Opportunity here for Inter with the cross, away by Hector Fort. Last 30 seconds of stoppage time, first half extra time. Hector Fort just slid away off his touch. Thuram couldn't hold it up. Does so now though. Bastoni.
Oh, Thuram had an easy pass against the offside line. They'd have been in Inter.
Mehdi Taremi, the Iranian. Alessandro Bastoni, it's a lovely ball through, but the referee's blown for half-time, extra time, and Barella looks furious. Because they were in there.
Inzaghi came on the pitch, but if it's time up, it's time up.
Inter lead it, half-time, extra time, 4-3 and 7-6 on aggregate. What a night we've had. Fratesi for the second important game in a row, Stuart.
Now there's the strength of Thuram. We thought he was finished, looked so tired, but he sets up the ball to Taremi, who sets up Fratesi. Just by stopping playing the first shot, Kabasi goes to ground, and then he uses the defender to bend it round him into that far corner. And then he got a bit light-headed after all the celebrations, did Fratesi.
What a night we've had. Lautaro Martinez after 20 minutes puts Inter ahead. And then, on the stroke of half-time, a penalty was given for Kubasi's challenge on Martinez, checked by VAR. Çalhanoğlu stroked a beautiful penalty, and they were 5-3 up on aggregate. Then came the Barcelona comeback for the second game in a row. Garcia, of all people, 8 minutes into the second half. Dani Olmo with a header 6 minutes later. Rafinha seemed to have given them the tie when he scored with 3 minutes from time. And then one of the old men in the Inter side, Acerbi, scored with his first goal since April of 2023.
Just been watching Dimarco over the course of that first period of extra time. Kubasi's off, and so is Pedri, Gavi and Pau Victor, and the players to come on. Dimarco's become the assistant manager almost to Inzaghi. He's the one that's seeming to be advising him.
Well, it's an attacking move. Gavi for Kubasi. Pau Victor, a rare opportunity for him in this competition. He's played half an hour from the bench in 3 substitutes appearances. Gavi effectively will replace Pedri in there though, won't it?
It means there's going to be a change of shape. I think they will play 3 at the back.
Off we go for the final 15 minutes of this tie, unless it goes to penalties. Extraordinary display by Pedri again. Ran and ran and ran. Passed the ball astutely at times. Barcelona attacking, the little touch off by Pau Victor. Gavi's immediately in there. Pedri ran over nearly 15 kilometres tonight.
He's going to have to do it all over again at the weekend.
What a game that is, by the way.
Against Real Madrid.
And that could well settle the Liga title. At the moment, Barcelona have the advantage, 4 points clear. Gerard Martin, Frenkie de Jong, still trying to pull the strings. Victor Fort looks for a possible return from Lamine Yamal, who wriggles his way away and still looks for a pass, but it was dropped in short for Tazy clear.
Well, they're just going to play one at the back at times, Barcelona. Araujo, Martinez on the left-hand side of him, Fort to the right, but they're going to come forward at the right times. There you see it. Araujo at the back by himself.
Here's Rafinha. What can they do here? It's Rafinha from range, trying to force a yard of space to get a shot away. Yamal. Yamal can do virtually anything there. Spins the pass in, and Lewandowski, 3 yards out, heads over. Inter bring on Stefan de Vrij, defender for Dumfries, who I don't think has looked right for a long time, but has plugged on in there.
He certainly has, and it does mean that Darmian will come out to play as the wing back, and de Vrij will go in at centre back. He's had a big impact, hasn't he, on the tie, Dumfries. Those 2 goals in the first game, he's been a constant threat. Not so much in the second half and extra time, but in the first half he was a big threat down the right-hand side.
Barcelona was certainly wary of him. Inter's first ever player to score 2 in a Champions League semi-final, that first leg last week. Thuram with a little back heel, desperate defending, chance to win it here. Oh, lovely save by Szczesny to deny Fratesi a second, and that would have won it surely.
Well,
he was offside.
Yeah, he was offside. Very similar to the goal they scored against Bayern, where Augusto went forward, and exactly the same little touch behind him. Lautaro Martino. So they're getting a corner, mind you. He was offside when the ball was. He was in front of the ball.
Well. Into corner, Baresi will take it. Estonian at the near post. Frenkie de Jong headed away. Zielinski hit first with a little bit of slither off the sodden turf now.
Offside given. Player coming back, having taken the corner.
I think he's hurt himself as well. But
and there you can see it.
We're in the 110th minute of an extraordinary game. Yamal, not over yet. That's well wide. Look at the interplayers.
Well, the players are slipping and sliding on this surface now. It has really come down heavily, the rain, in the last half an hour or so.
He's had 14 shots in the two legs, Yamal. Not too sure whether Dumfries was grimacing at weariness, injury, or the inclement weather. Away by Hector Fort. Rafinha looked tired there. Fratesi on. What can they do here? Matteo Darmian with the high hoist. Taremi leaves it run on. Augusto up from the back. Zielinski, they're keeping the ball well here. Keep the ball, win the tie, get to the final. Another play. Dry cleaners, I would think. Best thing for that suit.
Probably in the bin. He's probably got 3 or 4.
If they win it, he won't want to change it, will he? One last effort perhaps from Barcelona. Fermin Lopez, the referee, acknowledges the fact he was in the way. Couldn't do anything about it. Didn't know what the players' body language is all about.
He's wearing a bright, I think it's orange. Should be able to miss him out.
Zaghi told to go back into his technical area. Been in and out all night long. Here's Rafinha, players to his left-hand side. Gavi, Yamal, two products of this wonderful La Masia system. Yamal, Hector Fort. Just overcooked it.
They've just lost a bit of impetus here, haven't they, Barcelona? Struggled in extra time. They were so dominant in that second half. Must be so frustrated they let Inter back in with that Acerbi goal right at the end of the game. Why was he taken off? That's the big question. Inigo Martinez. Yes, he had a yellow card, but he didn't look injured.
Taremi heads it on. More influence tonight than he had in the first leg when he came off the bench. A couple of cultured touches from the experienced Iranian international in such good years at Porto.
And also get an assist, won't he, for the goal, the Fratesi goal.
Yamal, Rafinha in a more central position now to run away from him.
Yeah, Fermin Lopez has come out to this left-hand side, as you can see here. Rafinha playing infield.
Gavi trying to force it through to Pau Victor. I wonder if they've got an embarrassment of riches up front, too many. Taremi's closed down here well to win it back off Frenkie de Jong. Barcelona look leggy now. Cross too high for Thuram, from Augusto. Fratesi battling with Fermin. It's a throw to Barcelona. but time ticks inexorably down. Lewandowski with the turn. Rafinha, we've got a man over here now. Looks for Yamal, perfect weight on the ball. Yamal! Was that their moment? Was that their moment? And was it another save? A brilliant save by Sommer. 1v1, you expect him to hit the target here. Oh, and he does, that's a great save. That's the best of the lot from Sommer. He could have just won his team the tie here. He is denied Yamal in the two legs a hat-trick of goals with his saves. And he comes unopposed to gather there. And the fact he was unopposed, does that signal that Barcelona think it's not going to be their night? Look at this. Fingertips, but strong enough. What a save. Yes, it's a nice height for him. No wonder Bastoni's raising his arms. That is a great save from the goalkeeper. 8 shots he's had, Yamal. He's hit the post as he did in the first leg when he scored a sensational goal. The world, Europe's brightest talent, perhaps the world's best under 17-year-old, miss out on the final. Gerard Martin, Fermin Lopez, look at Inzaghi. Rafinha. Fermin Lopez got there late. Frattesi felt he'd caught him. De Jong. Still trying to play careful football, cultured football, passing football. Yamal with a chip in, helped on. Partially cleared away at the back. Stefan de Vrij, I think it was. Rafinha was out to 4, but he's wasted 1 or 2 opportunities. Now they give it to the 18-year-old Barcelona-born defender. Frenkie de Jong. Yamal. Parried again by Sommer, and the follow-up header just drifts away from Lewandowski. There's another to put to the stats. Another Yamal shot. Another Sommer save. Again, it's one he should make, but he just seems to be playing at a different level at the moment, Sommer, to what I've seen in previous years. It's been an extraordinary competition. 13th Champions League tie for him this season. 7 clean sheets in those ties. He's conceded 6 against Barcelona, and he's still on the winning side.
Ayo bisa.
For how long? Oh, that's a poor ball by the substitute, Pau Victor. Frattesi battling on, drawing the foul. Well, who'd have thought in a single game we get Eric Garcia scoring, Acerbi scoring, and Frattesi getting another winner? Well, I think the tie's had everything, hasn't it? Hasn't had too much of that man, Arnautovic, although he said a lot from the sidelines, it's got to be said. Today with a Y in it, Stuart. It was ever thus. Here's Thuram. Gamefully battling on. De Jong. Been wonderful over the 2 legs. Araujo now committed to attack.
Apa sih Bastoni anjing, apa sih?
A yellow for Bastoni. Pulling back on Yamal. 2 minutes and a little bit more separate Inter from the final in Munich. Young ship in looking for Gavi. Partially cleared by Frattesi. He jumped into his man. Is there any point in telling Inzaghi to get back into that technical area? He's not going to do it. De Jong. Yamal, they go wide again. Skips beyond Taremi. Gets the cross shot in, headed up and over by Bastoni.
Well, he looks the player most likely to get them back into the game, Barcelona. Got a yellow card, Bastoni. Confirmation of that. Now, can Lewandowski cause a problem in the box?
Young Hector fought in there. In it comes, Sommer punches. Another corner for Barcelona. For all the glittering array of outfield players, is Sommer player of the match. Rafinha with the corner kick, nudged on. Away at the back by Tifrai. Well, I'd have thought he'd been offside there, Lewandowski. Inter appeal and the flag stays down.
Well, he was onside. Good decision.
Bastoni played him on. Bastoni can barely walk. Well, we've seen players like that before. And Acerbi, look, offering up a prayer to the heavens. Can they reach a second final in 3 years? Yamal no way through. Well played Mediterranean. Kept his eye on the ball. If he runs it down that line in to surely win the tie. Looking for Barella. Rafinha chased back. And this is it now for Barcelona. Gavi. And Fermin Lopez. We're entering stoppage time at the end of extra time. It's headed away by Tifrai. There'll be 2 more minutes at the end of a great saga in Champions League history. They will be talking about this side for years to come. Frenkie de Jong. Here's Yamal. It's touched on and away by Tifrai again. And Inter defending as if their very souls depended on it. Rafinha again. Fermin Lopez, clever header back in. And I think it was Tifrai who flung himself at the ball. And he was caught in there by Araujo.
Brilliant defending here. The header's a good one. Look at that for a clearance. In the right place. He adjusted himself from going into the middle of the goal, came to the near post. He knew where the header was going to go. Really good anticipation from De Vrij. Doesn't play that many games these days. Well, throughout the second half, when Barcelona made it 2-2, you never thought that Inter were on the verge of winning this tie. They were down and out.
But here they are now, within a minute of making it through and maintaining this proud record of never losing a European Cup or Champions League semi-final home leg. Never lost at home against a Spanish club in a semi-final. And Thuram has played an important role there again.
And he did well just to step across the challenge of Frank de Jong. It's a foul. As you said, that must be it now.
Looking to reach a 3rd Champions League final, a 7th European Cup final if you include the old Champions Cup. And they are moments away. And what a famous and historic and epic victory all this will be. It's done, it's all over. But we will remember this for many, many years to come.
This match was brought to you by Lanes, UEFA Champions League official sponsor.
And then the Çalhanoğlu penalty put them 2-0 up on the night. Garcia and Olmo levelled on the night and on aggregate. Rafinha put Barca ahead 3 minutes from time. Acerbi, of all people, equalised 3 minutes into stoppage time. And Frattesi off the bench won it for Inter. What a night for Inzaghi. What a night for Inter Milan. What a night for football. Stuart Robson.
Well, you just said it. What a night for football. We saw over the 2 games one of the best performances I've seen from any player in Yamal. But we also saw a great piece of goalkeeping tonight. And him the first leg from Sommer. He saved his team on numerous occasions, but what a night for football. This has been such an exciting tie, a great tie, full of brilliant football.
Yamal scored in the first leg, hit the post in both legs. 4 times he was denied tonight by Sommer. His time will come, but not this year in the Champions League. For him it's tears, for Inter it's cheers, and Inter are through to Munich and the final, where Paris Saint-Germain or Arsenal will await them. They've won this one tonight, terrific scenes. 4-3 to go through, 7-6 on aggregate.
Dadah teman-teman. Mas.
Ya, kita sudah melihat pemirsa bagaimana pertandingan yang sangat luar biasa. What a drama yang terjadi di second leg dari UEFA Champions League. Dan mungkin kalimat yang bisa diucapkan di pertandingan ini cuman sukar dipercaya.
Iya, menurut saya ini salah satu pertandingan fase gugur paling seru dalam sejarah Liga Champions ya.
Iya.
Salah satu yang paling seru. Tidak hanya karena pertandingannya hari ini berakhir begitu dramatis, tapi 2 leg itu dua-duanya dramatis.
Berarti total 3-3, 4-3.
Iya, 7 gol bagi Inter ya, dan 6 gol bagi Barcelona.
Oke, Pak Bungkus, terima kasih sudah menemani kita semuanya. Dan juga pemirsa, akhirnya saya Rendra Sujono mengucapkan terima kasih atas perhatian Anda yang sudah bergadang untuk menyaksikan pertandingan antara Inter Milan menghadapi Barcelona. Sampai jumpa dalam kesempatan ya. Salam SCTV Sports.
Thank you guys yang udah nonton.